Hello everyone, Alex here, and today we are gonna talk about the 10 best DPS or damage dealers in this Worlds Collide. At number 1, we still have Wonder Woman. Yes, she's still the best character in the game. I'm still using her at chapter 57 if I'm struggling against the first biggest team. I will use Wonder Woman with block to win. I use them in main arena when I'm finishing at 2600 or whatever at this point of the reward bracket. As you see, many people are using a team similar than this. They win still a lot in Elite Arena, like maybe 50-60% win ratio. They aren't a bad team at all, and that's a crit team. That's not Wonder Woman and Zatanna surviving from a Wonder Woman or crit team, going to a different team like happened in main arena. There's very few people that aren't using Wonder Woman in arena or elite arena, like 5 people maybe in my server. And you really need to have many different characters. At least at a similar size than Wonder Woman. For example, if I wanted to replace Wonder Woman, I needed to have either like a Superboy bigger than her and the Superman DCU, and maybe even an Ivy. Spoiler alert, she's in the list. And yeah, it's like very few accounts that are replacing Wonder Woman, and even if it's not in main or elite arena, which is a great character to be in both for the vast majority of people still, she's awesome in main stages. She's very strong in Evil Falls, particularly this one. She's basically needed to clear a clear 31, having her on the team. I use her on the team here, where I beat Firestorm. I moved it forward like a couple of levels. I use her in league challenges, both in the first one, it's not my best score, but at the start of the week. On the second one, as a big damage dealer. The third one is not good. I use her in the team maps if I want to like attack and clear someone fast. I use her in a system recovery. So in those both here, I'm the first server combined with the 9th. I'm 11th in main stages. I'm 12th in system recovery, and Wonder Woman is basically using my main team. If I can afford to not if it's an easier first main stage, I might use her in the third team, but it's basically solo carrying it. At number 2, we have Sinestro. Sinestro is an awesome character that really unlocks many things in the game. Having him, he can carry main stages team. Now that he's at rank 9, I moved him on my second main stages team at chapter 57, and he was carrying most of the opponents. In a couple I needed to add the mercenary in there because they were very tricky, the second, but like this size of opponents, and rank 9 Sinestro was carrying a team in there. He's used in an elite arena team that has like a 25-30% win rate. For me, it's not bad. It's a lot better having Sinestro in here than before I had Sinestro, and I just had some scraps together. They were winning very early. At least Sinestro has a decent chance of winning, especially now at rank 9. First ultimate, he's a main damage dealer in here. Some people are using him in arena lately. He's basically mandatory in an Evil Falls. This one with John Quick, it brought me to 32, having him before I was like 25 or whatever, before unlocking Sinestro. Even at rank 7, he's nice to have. He's mandatory on the 3rd league challenge. He's the best damage dealer in there where you need superpower damage and you already have Raven, which he synergizes very well with. He can be used on the secondary debuff tag. He's all around awesome character. Many people, if you see, are using him here against Peacemaker. Like if you see the first teams, everyone has a big, or most people at least, will have a big Sinestro in here. He's basically great for a lot of content. Converted cards, especially a villain team. At number 3 we have Deathstroke, but big caveat here. If you have a Deathstroke that's not at rank 10, where his ultimate goes to 1, and he has some other things as well that make him stronger, then he's not even top 10. He's decent, he's usable, or maybe he's barely top 10 at rank 8, at rank 7 he's borderline unusable. So Deathstroke really needs to be on a very high rank to get the ranking number 3. If so, he can be used in Elite Arena, otherwise he kinda sucks, he's a little bit unusable. He can elevate a debuff team and work with Sinestro for your main stages, and bringing him to from rank 7 to 8 made him usable in there better than a rank 10 Batman with budget 25. Deathstroke at rank 8, budget 20, even 15 originally, was better than Batman for main stages. So he's very strong here, decent at rank 8, but if not at rank 10, no, he's not the 3rd best DPS in the game. No. Just a little caveat there. I have a video on him where I hire a mercenary at rank 10 and I show the difference. At number 4 we have Constantine. Constantine is an awesome character. For me, he's the 2nd best because I have more investment to him than some other characters, but Sinestro is definitely moving up, and at rank 10 he will definitely be used a lot more than Constantine for me. But Constantine can slot into a block team amazingly. He adds many buffs to your teammates, and can help a little bit with survivability, especially Pandora, giving her recuperates if you have Pandora with them. But buffs help Nightwing land stuns more consistently and for more turns. He's a very big damage dealer. He can fit with a Mr. Terrific team, being a superpower damage dealer, probably one of the best characters to throw in there. Definitely very helpful, even if I use Wonder Woman with my first block team in the main stages. At chapter 57, then he can go carry a 2nd or 3rd team, or at least be a very valuable member in there. Maybe you can throw Terrific then in there. I'll just have him at rank 8 at the moment, and he's not like the biggest game changer. I see his potential, and he's definitely very nice to have and helpful at this size. Also, I use Constantine like with system recovery, especially if I want to clear it fast, with team ups, as I said, because he hits many people, and I have him big. He's very, very nice to have, almost mandatory for the 3rd league challenge against Wolf. He definitely helps me together with Sinestro put a great, very high score in there. I even use him on my first team, and if you have area of effect, it will be a lot easier for you to use him, but even now, I use him here because he's very helpful with that. I use him in Deathstorm, in Evil Falls. I use him in Converges, where you need the faucet, where you need to have blue characters. Even if with only heroes, some situations where I need more damage and less availability, because he also sacrifices your teammates' HP at the start of a turn, but gives them recuperate, so he kinda makes up for that and gives them other buffs. So very strong character with a lot of homes, with a lot of places where you can use him. At number 5 we have Batman. It's a bit more advanced because okay, you need Batman definitely for an evil fall, so some people are using him in more than one, but empowering is basically mandatory there. And I know some people are using him in team ups. Since there are two people, I like area of effect characters that have bigger investment into them better. But why I really have him here, and he can fit in main stages, especially if you don't have Deathstroke, you can use him with a debuff and he's very nice. Even in Elite Arena, you can throw him in there, or if they ever make a season with just physical damage, or like you do Superboy, he might get more play there. He's basically the best damage dealer for the second league challenge, even if you're not doing single target, but especially if you're doing a single target that I am doing, you need to have his synergy active, you need to have his ultimate going off first, even people that are doing shield, because he also fits the debuff tag, and since you need physical damage there, it's best to have him ult first, even if you have a big Sinestro. His battle 30 gives him fear, made him land more fear if the opponents have many debuffs on them, that they can work very well with the debuff team. Have him at 25, and I know before unlocking his Sinestro he was the carry for my third main sages, just a single target damage dealer that was slowly chipping away at them. Very, very strong. And yeah, in the second league challenge, because it's just one character and you're doing a lot of single target damage onto them, even people that are doing shield that can afford only bringing one DPS in there are bringing Batman, and they are doing a very nice score, because Batman, like, let me show a screenshot. So I have Constantine's gear into him, I have him using his ultimate first, but his budget's 5 level lower than Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman still has the lasso that I have more investment into it, and Batman is doing the majority, and both like all of them basically are at the rank, like the damage dealers, Batman, Red Hood and Wonder Woman are all at rank 10. Batman is outperforming them by a lot in the damage, and he's awesome. Even in my second account where I have him smaller, I use him there and he's doing very nice damage, better than Wonder Woman that I have more ranks on into her. So here Wonder Woman contributes a bit with her damage by her advanced attack that deals a lot of damage, but using ultimates are a lot better to have first Batman and then Red Hood, I found out. So his main home for me, something that he does super well. He can fit into a debuff team, as I said, he's not terrible. So for that, because I value that, I think he's very, very strong. And in some, like, for example, the previous boss here, where it was against Superman DCU, I was using Batman in the team and I was getting a bigger score because it's superpower. If it's single target damage, he's super strong in that. At number 6 we have Hal. I don't have him unlocked. I based his ranking to a big degree by how annoying he is to go up against in the Elite Arena, that I'm usually watching the matches, and how each character is contributing or not. I know Mr. Terrific can work with him and Hal being better because of that. Some people are using him in the Shield League Challenge the second, but he's superpower damage dealer, so he doesn't help too much there. Number 7 we have Red Hood. As I said, I use him in the second League Challenge with a single target, the section with single target, and he helps putting out a great score. I use him in Elite Arena, I used him in Arena for a long time, until I brought Blue Beetle to rank 8, and he also got a buff around this time that made him stronger against crit. This season of Elite Arena he's also having 50% more stats, he can carry a team almost. And I even use him in main arena on my second account, and I'm doing very well there because I don't have Blue Beetle, and he's still very relevant, especially early game, or if you aren't going up against the Blue Beetles. And I use him many times if I want to do something fast, like a system recover when I need to finish in less turns, or sometimes in team ups. I fluctuate. Sometimes I use him, sometimes I use Ocean Master because he doesn't die as quickly, and there is an opponent. Frankenstein, which heals when someone of your team dies, so you don't want to have Red Hood dying twice. It's not very helpful in that specific opponent, but very, very nice character, a lot of single target damage. He's a bit more niche. I know something has happened now with the arenas, at least I noticed it relatively recently, where they have like a rule in both of them, both arena and elite arena, that you start with 60% damage reduction and gain 15% more damage amplification at the end of each round. So basically the way like he works is that he gives 20% crit chance and crit damage for the first 3 turns and gradually moves down. He also gives superpower resistance that can be very nice. But basically you have him, and that's the reason he was used in Arena for a long, long time with Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman being the strongest character, and he even making her do a lot more damage up front. So you were going in first, super fast, doing more crit damage, and trying to kill everyone very quickly. Now that you start with 50% more damage reduction in both arenas, it incentivizes a bit more survivability. Also, both Blue Beetle and Peacemaker have stuff in the kit that directly counter crit, so maybe he will slowly phase out of the meta when we are finished with the anti-hero season, which is one more for Elite Arena at least. He's still a physical damage dealer if you have a season about that, and I use him, as I said, in content that I want to clear fast. So I'm not seeing his value completely going to waste, but he's kinda bad in main stages, so he's like a character that I used because I had him big for Arena in my third team, and even then he was kinda underperforming. So if he also gets out of Elite Arena, having gone out of main arena for many people, but he may still be usable for you if you're not facing Blue Beetles or Peacemakers, I guess. Maybe he'll go down the list if he gets also out of Elite Arena. At the moment, he's very strong in Elite Arena, having the 50% more stats though. And on the opposite side of the argument, he's an anti-hero, can help activate Judo Master's team synergy, so he might actually get revamped with that. And he's a tank, a DPS that can be used in the front row, that maybe isn't the perfect option since he's not doing superpower damage, but he can be used in some situations with Justice Kang as well. Number 8, we have Superboy. I based its ranking, okay, I have tested him, I have him bigger on my second account, and also by many people attacking me even in main arena, but also in Elite Arena, having him on the team, and some people's feedback on him, like things people that have investment to him are saying about him. And he's definitely an interesting character that he seems synergy when you have him at rank 10, so I'm gonna show it at the moment, is reducing 12% block chance for every detonation of burn, so you need 4 stacks of burn. So this can really make a team possibly that can counter block teams. It's all superpower damage that ignores block amount. He's a superpower damage dealer that can fit into a Mr. Terrific team. He's a character that slowly started buying his fragments, especially from the League store when they're there. And I also, he's one of the next characters probably that I will have as a favorite to get his fragments. But I need to have him at least rank 9, I think, to even use him, even try him in Elite Arena or something. And I'm missing like original Superman. I don't know how strong a Burn team will be without original Superman. He's kinda paywalled. Maybe eventually I spend enough money, but I'm not nowhere near close to getting him soon, original Superman. And the addition of Superman DCU into the game definitely allowed the possibility of a burn team and a revamped Superboy. Burn also counts as a debuff, so I kinda seen some people try to make a three-way hybrid with Burn, Justice Gang, and Sinestro, and that's also kinda interesting to me, even in main arena. He's also very strong in the League Challenge, where you need to do Burn in the first section, since he's hitting many people and he has the team synergy that gives you stats. At number 9, I have Superman DCU. So a caveat here. He's better as a character than many of the characters I've said. But a lot of his value is derived by being a tank, by being in the front row, by having the one turn of invulnerable, by adding some dampens. For example, many people are using him on the third league challenge against Steppenwolf as a main tank or as a second tank, because he also puts out many dampen, and the dampen are allowing for more superpower damage to pass through. So then you have a Sinestro and a Constantine that are doing more damage because of him. His ultimate is also very nice and can deal a lot of damage. Can potentially in a burn team be the last blow to kill someone like a Nightwing or Blue Beetle, but you really need to have a very high investment for him to be able to do that. Maybe have his ultimate going off later in the match, and then you already will have a couple of detonations. They will have less block on them, and maybe 40% of their HP will be lost. So maybe then he can try to go for a one shot or two shot. I guess maybe use his ultimate twice in the match and kill a big tank. He's definitely valuable being a big damage dealer. He's not perfectly used in the second league challenge because his ultimate is superpower damage, and the salt after some revives he gets a lot less superpower damage. He gets more superpower damage reduction, but as I said, he's used on the third, and he's very strong, especially if you have him at like rank 9 or 10. He's almost a staple in there, but he can get play being smaller as well. He's also nice in the first league challenge if you need burn, because his advanced attack is also hitting, or even his basic hit a row at least. He will spend one turn with invulnerable, so he can help a burn team clear ways more than I imagined before testing him in there. As I said, he can work with a Justice Gang team and being the main tank, being basically a tank that has a DPS tag, so you can activate Terrific's team synergy. They kinda fallen off a lot this Elite Arena season as a straight team all together. My Wonder Woman team is walking all over them, even if the opponents are at the same size at her, or maybe she just has like a few badge levels or whatever onto them, or artifact tiers, but at the same rank at minimum. And I also have investment to her gear a lot, but she's still winning by big margins, so it's a little bit of a disappointment. At the same time, Superman DCU can be used in a burn team or in a debuff team, as I'm using him, and he's very nice. He's very strong as a tank, primarily in my debuff team. That's why he's solo. Otherwise, he's higher. He has more value than the other characters on the list, but not as a straight DPS. If you need more damage, he's lower on the list. If you need a all-around character or a character that is more beefy, this is not the list for that. But I'm just giving a clarification. So if someone comments, no, Superman DCU is very low, you can comment underneath. Well, he's saying that he has a lot of value. Just a straight DPS, maybe he's not the strongest option to rely on. And then as a DCU can be moved either in a burn or a debuff team, and If this U makes a burn, maybe Terrific can fit into a debuff team. I see something like this happening to a big degree, and not straight Terrific teams in the Elite Arena. They're kind of bad in the first server that I'm playing in, where everyone has a lot of investment to everything. Can potentially be used in like the current Evil Falls. I know I'll use him in my second account, and he helped me push a few levels here. Because he's single target. And in my second account, because I don't have like other characters like Wonder Woman, so many ranks above him, or badge and gear investment, or even Nightwing. I don't have him that much bigger than Superman DCU. I use him as a main tank, sometimes in main stages where I have only one chapter, but I'm very close to unlocking to have 2 teams where I need to be using on my second account, which I'm processing a lot more casually. And in main stages many times, especially if you need to not have a color, and he's very valuable in there. But again, as a tank, it's his value a lot. And at number 10 we have Ivy. I will give some honorable mentions after that. Ivy started seeing her way against me in main arena, which is interesting. She does a lot of back row damage. I use her in the first league challenge, and she's very helpful. At rank 9 or 8 that I primarily test her, she's not really usable for me in elite arena. But if she's at rank 10 and maybe you have a penguin with a high budget investment into, and her, of course, then she starts becoming a possible candidate to be used there and give you some victories potentially. I used her in very early game in my second team as a damage dealer, as a villain damage dealer when you need it in system recovery, and I had Scarecrow with her by a long time, even the blue color. Before I upgraded Constantine, she was carrying the damage there in the Converged Crisis. Definitely a very nice character. Just she's a bit limited because her ultimate is doing damage based on how many sacks of poison the opponents are having, and she adds some sacks of poison. With her emblem she can add more, or to more people. Penguin is adding more sacks of poison, especially if you have his emblem upgraded, which is very strong. Besides using him with Ivy, you can make him a lot more usable. That's beside the point. But she would still maybe not, because she started finding her way in the arena meta recently, and a couple of people are using her. And they that have a high investment to her, and they can potentially one-shot to my Wonder Woman back row, but they also have a level advantage over me. But if we also have one more new poison character, then maybe she will become like STR and an awesome character. And it's a bit annoying that she only hits 3 people in contrast with some other DPS like Constantine, Wonder Woman, or even HAL Ultimate that are hitting everyone. To some degree, Sinestro is dealing a lot of damage on the front row and does a smaller damage hit to everyone. Also, honorable mentions. I don't use him in the main account especially, but he's very strong, especially early game. Can potentially see a small revamp of him having like Peacemaker. It doesn't show here, but having Peacemaker that can activate his team synergy. I know people that are still doing area of effect in League Challenge definitely get use out of him. Some people are still using his team synergy in Elite Arena. So extremely strong. Red Hood's team synergy is stronger usually, and also you can await Constantine in there because he can make a different team stronger. While going with them, you sacrifice 15% of your HP, so a mirror match, a Wonder Woman can easier one-shot you. He also has like a frostbite tag, maybe with a killer frost if he comes into the game. He might get a little bit of play, but he's a little bit boring late game. He just has a straight damage. He doesn't really do nice stuff. For example, Wonder Woman does something similar than him, but he also adds stuns and silences, and is better because of that. And the final honorable mention is Guy. Guy is awesome. He's the best character in the first league challenge, but you need to kind of have his artifact at rank 3 to really take advantage of him there, and he needs to be at least rank 7 to be usable there. Some people like his emblem. I know if you max it out, he has a chance of keep doing basic attacks, and that can really add up. I know some people are trying to use him at least in Elite Arena. I know I've gone up against like rank 10 guys, and they are not really doing anything against me. I also had him in the season where he had 100% more stats, and while he was contributing in the total damage, he was never or rarely getting kills with his advanced attack or his ultimate, so he wasn't really getting advantage of the main allure of his kit, that when he kills someone he does one more free attack. And definitely I never really found a good use for him in main stages, but late game, if you want to push him in the third biggest league consistently with league challenges, if you want to push league challenges, you need to have Guy, and it's a good enough reason at least to mention him and to invest into him. I'm waiting to pull for his artifacts. I'm saving those. I'm saving diamonds. I also save them for pulling Vigilante or whatever, but I save those so when the new artifact comes into the game for Peacemaker, I'll also pull and maybe select guys to rank it up to rank 3 and double dip, since we are closer to that. But I really value that, and I'm even like a little bit tempted to pull it faster, but I think I'm gonna wait, so I will have this when at rank 3. Maybe I will make a video on it, I don't know how it does in league challenges, but I'm waiting to rank this up to rank 3 together with Peacemakers with a new artifact to immediately bring it higher.